Private investigator Paul O'Sullivan will appear before Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee on National Security Concerns today. His testimony is expected to probe intelligence failures and policy gaps in combating corruption and gang networks, potentially driving key reforms in South Africa's security framework. Meanwhile, Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee says it will approach National Assembly Speaker Thoko Didiza's office for a third extension. SABC News reporter Mkhokheli Bandla has more on these aspects. Mkhokheli, good morning to you.
Good morning, Leanne, and to our viewers at home. Indeed, today is not going to be an ordinary and normal day before this Ad Hoc Committee, where Paul O'Sullivan, a very controversial character, will be appearing from 11 o'clock this morning. What we can tell you about O'Sullivan is that he's an individual and character that has already been accused by some members of this committee of being, I quote, too arrogant because of the demands that he had demanded from this particular committee. You will remember that he did say before he agreed to appear in person before this committee that he won't be in South Africa until the committee has concluded or until the end of February. But interestingly, he happens to be in the country and he happens to agree to appear before this committee. This is allegedly after the intervention of the Speaker of the National Assembly, Thoko Didiza, in making sure that this particular individual appears before this committee. You will also recall that he appears after a number of allegations that have been made about his name. You will also recall that in the 6th July media briefing, Mkhokheli, the Provincial Commissioner of the KZN Police, did say that Paul O'Sullivan has in the police system has influence that must be questioned and investigated. So obviously those kind of questions are going to be fielded by the members of this committee after having been led by the evidence leader, Norman Arendse. Also, he will be asked expectedly about an alleged close relations that he apparently has with President Cyril Ramaphosa. Those kind of concerns did arise from this particular committee. So from 11 o'clock, Paul O'Sullivan will be in the hot seat. Also, on the question of him raising security concerns and fearing for his life, we have spotted already members of a specialized unit of the South African Police Service already within the parliamentary precinct. What we're going to do on our next crossing, when we talk to the viewer of the SABC again, we're actually going to move to where he will exactly be appearing at the Good Hope Chambers here in the precinct of Parliament to check if there's any security detail also that will be strengthened following his concerns. Also, it will be interesting as to what made him to actually now agree to appear in person after having said that he does not want to appear in person, but he has eventually agreed to appear in person. So, and we're expecting his appearance at 11 o'clock. He's expected to appear for today and tomorrow, where he will also be cross-examined by the members of this Ad Hoc Committee. He also allegedly did say that he's not expecting some members of this committee to ask him any questions, alleging that some members of this committee are criminals. He's obviously going to be interrogated in terms of those alleged remarks that he made by some members of the Ad Hoc Committee. But for now, Leanne, it's back to you in studio.
Now, Mkhokheli, this is going to be one interesting day, and that is an understatement. Mkhokheli Bandla, who's covering that for us, the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee.